righty. All good things, unfortunately, must come to an end. I thought we were going to be undefeated every time we did these panels, these three-man weaves, come up here after a victory. It's always happy, sunshine, rainbows, feeling good. But fast forward a week later, here we are, 31-28, guys. Steelers take the L to the Chicago Bears, fall to 6-5. Who wants it first? Who wants it first? Ooh,
you got it, Mark.
All right, I'll start here. If Aaron Rodgers plays today, I think the Steelers win. And maybe this is just the most homer meatball take I've had here to this point. With 2 final drives, if Rodgers is healthy or if the Steelers clear him to play, you're meaning to tell me he couldn't put the Superman cape on one more time to go up against a franchise where he had a 25-5 record? Had Rodgers played today, I think we're talking about a different outcome. That's just my 2 cents worth. TaNeisha, what say you?
I think shame on this offense. I am livid at this offense. I just think your starting linebackers are out. We're playing against a team with no starting linebackers. They're continuing to lose them as the game goes on. And the Steelers say, hey, you know what? What if we try to chunk it down the field a couple of times just in case? There's certain things in football that just are common sense. When they are down somewhere, you attack it over and over and over and over. And the Steelers offense was like, nah, backup quarterback. Why attack that over and over and over? That was disappointing to me. That was the most disappointing to me besides Mason Rudolph, 2 turnovers. Like that, I don't understand the offense today at all. At all. That's my biggest frustration.
Hey, shout out. Well, I guess, man, this is the beautiful part of it. I got different perspectives than both of you guys, man. With Rodgers, if he does play, as much as I would love to say, yeah, it would have worked out, what have we seen over the past couple of weeks from our offense that just gives us a ton of confidence that it would? Because prior to this point, man, people were upset, right? They were, hey, man, we need more from the offense, need more production. I thought outside of the first throw that was the pick, and I mean, it's a 50-50 ball. We only think of 50-50 as 50% catch. It's 50-50 because it's a 50% chance that a guy can make a crazy one-handed diving, falling out the field of play interception. And we go crucify Mason. But to me, I'm like, yo, it's a 50-50 ball. You throw it at DK, first play of the game, Mason, have at it, right? I'm not tripping on that. My big grievance, honestly, from Mason, I didn't really have a big one, honestly, man, because it's the backup quarterback. You're the backup quarterback going on the road versus the Chicago Bears, who up until this point had been winning a lot of games, right? Up until this point have been scoring a lot of points. So I'm like, you got to score, you got to protect the ball, but you got to at least do something to keep us in the game. Man, we had 21 points at one point. 21 points. I'm like, yo, no Rodgers, that's on the board. Then obviously TJ Watt gives us some defensive touchdowns as well, but to me, man, I wasn't tripping on Mason. I was more upset with the defense. You had multiple opportunities to have interceptions to get off the field. You can't have those missed opportunities when you are down at other positions, i.e. quarterback. Same way when I look at, they called it on Troy Fautanu, but I'm looking at my wide receivers and it's like, hey, this is not a coaching issue because you guys know how to literally line up, check with the official to see if you're on the line or off the line. That's one of the first things that you're supposed to do as a wide receiver when you break the huddle. So on one of the most critical plays where we see Mason scramble, take off, get the first down, use his legs, it gets called back because of, guys not being lined up right. That's the part to me that I was more so just frustrated. It was like, man, when you don't have your quarterback, it's not going to be pretty, but you have to find a way to get out of that stadium. And I just thought that we left a couple of those opportunities out there that for sure would have got us up out there.
Yeah, I think that sounds real cute. My problem is everybody has a responsibility and everybody is supposed to do their responsibility. So just as well as the defense is supposed to catch the ball, the coaches are supposed to have an offense on the field that makes sense and call plays that make sense. I just don't think they did that today. And it's like always, they did it and then they didn't, and they did it and then they didn't. And then it's like, I don't know. I've never played football. I've never played quarterback. But I would like to think if I'm playing quarterback and I know their linebackers are out of the game and continuously getting hurt, I'm going to do everything I can to attack that spot over and over and over. Just like when teams attack us over and over and over and they see our corners just aren't covering correctly. I don't know what that was. And yeah, I wasn't impressed at all by that. And then listen, Defense, you can say whatever you want to say about the defense. When we needed it the most, they got us 2 back-to-back 3-and-outs consistently. And the offense still was like, like, what did we ran a crossing route, a 2-yard crossing route when it was like 3rd down and 9 or 3rd down and 7. I'm like, okay, guys, great play call there. I don't know. I don't know. Mark, you got it. Maybe you'll have something better to say than me. Because right now I'm just like, what the hell was that? Like,
TaNeisha, here's where I'm at, because I think the struggles of the offense are real, but I look at you one time of possession today, if you're the Steelers, 36 carries, 186 yards. That's 5.2 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns on the ground. My bigger concern is stretching the field in the passing game, because going into this game, Steelers had the fewest of any team in the league passes of air yards of 15 yards or more. What are you doing to attack defenses down the field to where all turnovers aren't created equal? You can almost arm punt at times if it makes sense to do that within the course of the game. So when DK Metcalf is in and out with his injuries, who's that player that's going to attack an opposing defense down the field? And that continues to remain an issue even when DK is in the game. And that's why we were clamoring for a wide receiver too. The same issues just keep surfacing again. So like, I'm with you. Yes, attack Chicago's linebackers given all the injuries that the Bears had coming into this game. But to me, and I understand Mason's a backup, I understand that, but attack the opposing defense further down the field. If defenses can just sit 10 yards out, they can just sit at the marker, they know what's going to happen. You've got to do things that keep defenses honest.
And I think that's fair. I mean, I think it's one of those things where, once again, you have to determine in those games, right, how aggressive you want to be for the sake of aggression, right? Hey, they're missing linebackers. I want 10, 15-yard passes in the middle of the field every time. I don't care about them going to cover one where it could be a low hole defender, it could be a pick. We don't care about that. I don't care about the deep pass that we threw to Roman Wilson because they weren't complete. We don't care about the effort or the intention. We want the execution. So I get all of that. But once again, we will be complaining if Mason was over here throwing 3 or 4 picks as he's attacking in the middle of that field. You have to adjust your gameplay. You can't go out there, from my perspective, with the mindset that, hey, what I would call and expect for Aaron Rodgers, I'm calling and I'm expecting for Mason Rudolph. Me personally, I think if you do that, you're setting yourself up for failure. The reason why this game was as close, the reason why we were able to stick around was because offensively, they did just enough to stay on schedule. But that's what you're trying to do. Best case scenario, if you got the backup quarterback in. That's why they the backup. So for me, my perspective is just going to be very different about what I wanted to see from the offense today, because if my backup offense or backup quarterback finds a way to get me 21 points offensively, as a defense, I told you how we live. 20 points or less, we should be getting out of there with a dub. So that's just how I look at it. But I get it. Trust me, I get it.
I was missing the toss plays. I never thought I would say that. That's crazy. I said that out loud. It's like, give me a toss play. Change it up. I don't know. I think too, the other thing I learned today is that we are just we are consistently inconsistent. And so there's moments where you're like, what are we going to do? Okay. We're in that moment. It's like, there's so many things going on that I'm just like, oh my gosh. What do you think, Mark? I see you wanting to say something.
Yeah.
Get in there, Mark.
Arthur, we talked about the play of the DBs and with the defense and where the defense has struggled this year. Other than TJ Watt strip sack, Nick Herbig recovers in the end zone. Where was the pass rush today?
No pass rush.
That's fair. Absolutely.
Where was it? So we can be critical on the back end of the DBs, but like Caleb Williams, that was the only sack Caleb Williams had today. The only sack of Caleb Williams the Steelers defense had was on that play. It's a huge play. I like to see TJ Watt pass his brother and sacks and everything. Like, that's great. 25th strip sack, most in the NFL since 2017. That's great and all. Where's that from the other players throughout the course of the game? And Arthur, that goes to your point about giving up 31. And I know that the Bears have a lot of weapons. They've catered this offense to make it work with Caleb Williams in year 2. Bringing in Ben Johnson from Detroit. All the weapons. Their 2 first picks in this. The first round pick, Loveland, he had a touchdown today. Burden was all over the field too. DJ Moore, Romo Dunze, like, they have weapons. And the Steelers defense today did not get it done. But to me, it's back to, okay, well, why do you have the struggles that you have? You have one sack of Caleb Williams today. I mean, this was a quarterback a year ago, and I understand this is a year ago, different coaching staff. He was the most sacked quarterback in the NFL.
Question mark. When you were watching the game today, did you feel like Caleb Williams held the ball for a long time? Or was the ball getting out on schedule? Or maybe even at best 2.14 seconds? Just answer the question.
That's the coaching. Okay, so that's the chess match of Ben Johnson, Mike Tomlin.
All right, next question. What was Ben Johnson viewed as this hiring cycle? Was he like a run-of-the-mill guy? Or was he like the marquee offensive guru? You saw what he did in Detroit, saw Jared Goff, how he can figure it out, right? And all this other stuff, right? Was he just like a regular hire? Or was he like the best of the best hire, right? Just from your perspective.
He was the belle of the ball, if you will, Arthur.
Okay. Yeah. How has Chicago as a team, record-wise and offensively specifically, responded to Ben Johnson being over there as well?
Well, winning 8 of the last 9 games in Chicago is one thing. And Arthur,
you got some Chicago history, though. You talk to me now. When has it even close score games like how there were in today, pre-Ben Johnson to post-Ben Johnson? We would say that's a very different team, right?
And this goes back to my point, though, Arthur, where if Rodgers suits up, Rodgers tormented this franchise for years. Like, Arthur, I grew up in the Chicago suburbs. You had Favre, Rodgers, and now Love. You're talking about 3 decades of quarterback play where the Bears have been trying to find that guy. They hope Caleb Williams is that guy. They're having a good run right now. And I was hoping for Pittsburgh's standpoint where it's like, let's go win in Chicago for the first time since, what, it was the mid-90s?
Heck yeah, it's been way too long.
That today, it's the same. Like honestly, take Chicago out of it for just a second, Arthur. It's the same problems we've talked about week after week after week after week resurfacing.
And that's, and the beautiful thing is this, in Chicago, or we could take Chicago and say Buffalo. We could take Buffalo and say Cincinnati. The same conversation is happening over there as well. So it's not like these are only our issues. Everybody is going to, if you follow one team and follow the whole team the whole time, you're going to have a certain issue that is going to plague you. And the job of the team, whether it's players and coaches and management, right, is to minimize said weaknesses and maximize said strengths. But nobody has the perfect roster. That's just not a realistic thing at this level because of the salary cap, right? We talk about the parity and how everything is built between draft and free agency. So every single roster, even as we talked about Chicago's roster today, no LBs, they had an issue as well. Now, what did they do to capitalize on that, right? They took advantage of their pass rush, being able to affect Mason a little bit, right? Then when their pass rush wasn't getting home, getting hands up in throwing lanes, right? That's the last pass of the game. It wasn't like he threw a pick. It wasn't like he got sacked. It wasn't like he made the bad read. It was Jaquan Brisker jumping 40 plus inches in the air to tip the ball. Like, we going crazy over like their players also being allowed to. And is Brisker a good player? When was he drafted? I can't remember. Maybe he was above 2, right? Caleb Williams, maybe he's above 2. It's like, yo, they actually got good players as well. Like, and their good players were the ones who actually made plays. TaNeisha, man, you talked about right? The cornerback. What do we say? He get a lot of picks. So for him to get the first pick, that's a crazy one-hand acrobatic. Like, is that this crazy indictment? Or it's like, yo, this dude has been making plays.
It's a Pro Bowl type play.
Yeah, and the play doesn't but the play doesn't bother me. The fact that we threw it bothers me. Because the first play of the game, we get 9 yards on a run play.
Okay.
And then the very next play, we come back and we're going to, with our backup quarterback, we decide to test that corner and that moment.
TaNeisha, why is it that if it's the backup quarterback and the results are negative, it's a bad thing? But if it was a good result, we would say we wanted Mason to do that.
No, even if Aaron Rodgers was out there, I would say it was a bad decision. Because I think the Steelers we do things that are working, and then we say, well, what if we do something else that's not working just to see if it might work to keep them off balance? And
that aggressive. That's another way to look at it, right? Could it be aggressive?
Maybe then our timing sucks. Like we do this thing. My thing is, I watch a ton of football. Yeah. And coaches do things that make sense to me when I watch them. When I watch them on Saturday, when I watch them on Sunday, when I watch them, like, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Sometimes these teams, I'm like, what the hell is that? That was terrible. And then I look at their record and I'm like, okay, that's why they did it. Because they're just not, this is who they are. for us, I'm like, I feel like we always get in these spots where I'm like, oh, this makes a lot of sense. And then we do something, I'm like, that actually didn't make any sense at all. And so for me, I'm just like, I don't know if in a game coming out where we really needed to be physical and we needed to be dominant, I don't know if starting off on the road, that was a great decision for us. Second play of the game.
What would you have
got 9 yards.
So my question to you is, how would your first 15, in terms of your script, right? What would you have ran with?
Run it again.
Okay.
Yeah, we got 9 yards. Run it again. See if you can get a first down. Stay on the field. I think sometimes momentum swings in games are important. And I think starting off on the road, I want to do whatever it takes to keep my team on the field. And the first play of the game, we blow them off the ball, 9 yards. It's so aggressive. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is great. I was shocked they actually did that, honestly. I was more shocked they did that. Then when they threw the ball, I was like, of course we did. That I was actually expecting the throw more so than I was expecting the run play. But that's just me. And so for me, again, they did it. It didn't work out. Whatever. I get it. Things don't work out in football. My thing is I feel like that impacted the game a little bit because now here comes our defense earlier than expected. And it kind of kickstarted a whole different things. And we got out of the first half and we were ahead. The defense scores a touchdown for us. But it's just like, sometimes when I'm watching the games, I'm just like, are we outsmarting ourselves? That's what it feels like. It feels like we just outsmart ourselves sometimes. We go to do a thing to trick the team, but it's like, they couldn't stop you before. You don't got to trick them. They couldn't stop it. But we didn't do it. So whatever. And then we come back in the next series and we do every single thing I thought we were going to do in the first series. We do it in the second series, score a touchdown. It works flawlessly. I'm like, of course it did. So that's why for me, sometimes I'm just like, I don't know. And again, maybe it's me, maybe it's what I'm seeing, but I'm watching this team do things where I'm like, common sense tells me one thing, but the Steelers are like, well, what if we trick them? Why are we tricking them? It's working. We don't have to trick them. We don't have to catch them off guard.
It's just funny at times, and not with you specifically, but like you sound like you're saying, hey, because it's work, man, just stick with that, right? But then we'll hear others where it's like, hey, man, because it's so predictable, it's too simple, we don't want that. Switch it up, try something different, be more aggressive. So to me, it's just kind of like, and like I said, that's what it's like. It's not you specifically, but that's what I do for me. Our process, and I'm just like, yeah, this is great coming from you, but the problem is you're not the masses. The masses, they want the change up. They want the pass. They want you down the field. They want you to take shots to who? DK Metcalf. Because they're going to say, hey, Mark, how many 100 yards rushers individually have we had this season? We got a 99-yarder. We got a 92-yarder.
One? I think one against Cleveland.
Yeah, it wasn't today.
You know what I mean? So I'm just like,
I'll pull it up, Arthur. I believe it's one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I always say, like, I don't care how we win. Win ugly. I don't care if we win because we ran the ball 32 times and passed the ball 1 time. I don't care. My goal is to win. I don't care what it looks like. But when it looks like I'm like, okay.
But you just said you don't care what it looks like, and they're literally a tip pass from Jaquan Brisker from being in field goal position.
It was 127. Warren had 127 against the Bengals on the Bengals Thursday night
Sunday game. Oh, was that Thursday night?
Okay.
Good call.
Yeah.
And look, that did get lost in the shuffle on that Thursday nighter, huh? Because Chase Brown for sure had a HUD. It was like, Warren had more, but
Arthur's still mad about that. Arthur's still mad about that.
Didn't he have like 150? Was it 149, 150?
Yeah, man, it was like, how Chase just will have 100 plus yards on us. This first 100-yard rush they had all year. Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
I don't think the offense has the playmakers to where when you get into the playoffs, again, I think today's a playoff type game. The Bears are on track to their division in the NFC. You get into the playoffs, and Buffalo's another team we'll see next week. That's another test. Against the best of the best, I just don't see this team stacking up, and we're shaping up for another season where it's like a game or two above 500, maybe 10-7, sneaking into the playoffs, limping into the playoffs, and just getting smoked once you're there. And it's like, that's
Mark,
what I think the frustration is.
Is Chicago, you said they're a playoff team to you? Are they a one-and-done playoff team or like a win-a-playoff game playoff team? Because you said we're a playoff team, but it was kind of just like, Because the reason I was asking is this is like, because you said that we're probably like a 10-7 best case, right? Limp to the playoffs, win one playoff game. But when you spoke of Chicago, you spoke of Chicago with like, yo, this is probably a playoff team. Arthur, this is like a test. So all I'm saying is this. No, but what I'm saying is this, younger or not, 3-point game with our backup quarterback is what I'm saying. When you let this show off, you even started yourself by saying what? If Aaron Rodgers is out there, I think we win. So which one is it is the part that I be trying to figure out, because I'm like, yo, you just gave me the doom and gloom about the limp into this thing, but then you started off by saying that, yo, quarterback swap out, you feel like we was going to win. And I'm looking at Chicago like, yeah, they're good team.
I'm with you in the trends, and like in the here and now, I'm with you, Arthur.
Okay.
The difference between Chicago and Pittsburgh, you have a first-year head coach, young, up and coming. You have a second-year quarterback who's starting to come into his own and play at a really high level. Pittsburgh, the stability of Mike Tomlin, for better or for worse, but you have Aaron Rodgers, who is in his 40s and at best will play another year for Pittsburgh at best.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's next for this team when you try to get back to winning Super Bowls? And it's like, that's so the here and now. Yeah. The frustration, Mason Rudolph, okay, can get you in and out of a stadium. I'm not going to get too bent out of shape about that, but like, that's the difference to where what Chicago's ceiling is. I don't know the answer to that. And so it's like, if you're saying like, Mark, could you trade right now? Like, would you rather have Chicago's situation or Pittsburgh's situation? I'd rather take Chicago's situation, regardless of the outcome of today. Because again, first-year head coach who is very well established in this league, and the Bears finally made the right hire for like the first time ever, and for what Caleb Williams is starting to do with this offense. So it's just, and we keep running into the same problems with the Steelers, like where it's like, okay, what's the offensive identity? There's that conversation. There's NFL's highest paid defense. Why are they giving up 31 points? It's like, it doesn't even matter who the opponent is. We're having the same conversations every single week. That's where the frustration lies, Arthur.
No, I can dig that, man. And I obviously can see the optimism about Chicago. We joke about this being TaNeisha. It's shiny and new. Of course we would want that situation. Why wouldn't we? Even though Ben Johnson as a head coach hasn't won any more playoff games than the Steelers in the past 5 years, right? As a head coach, right? We ain't seen that just yet. He ain't won a Super Bowl just yet in the past 5 years. Like the Steelers have it, but we ain't seen that just yet. But I get it. It's new. It's fun. It's exciting. So that's why I'm like, yo, I don't hate any of that. And that's the beauty of the league. It's like, yo, let's get to next week then, man. Get to next week, and then we'll have a new answer, right? A new variation. And it could be, yo, you lose again. Now we're starting to get more information, because once the record flips, now to me, I can really get on board with like the way that you kind of perceive the squad at times. I just always have the issue perceiving them that bad when I look at rosters and records that are that bad. And then I look at our record and it's like, well, how can you tell me this is us, but statistically it doesn't reflect that? And then even when we're comparing them to the people in our division, now shout out to Baltimore, they finally have done it, right? But prior to this, it was like, we can't be as doom and gloom as it sounds when everything is still showing that we're not. So like you said, man, let's see what next week looks like. Man, you lose again, hey man, now we getting closer and closer to that crash, getting closer and closer, and then we can even start making bigger changes. I know we want to put the Super Bowl always on like a week to week, but it's like, yeah, we can't get there until we get out of the regular season. So like that is all good and well, but I'm like, yo, all right, next week, and then you win that one, and then okay, you still sitting back in playoff position. That's the first objective before we can even get to the Super Bowl. Playoffs. Can you get out of this regular season first? And right now, has there been anything today, even with this loss, that says, hey, you are worse than you are in terms of trying to make it to the postseason? This was an NFC loss. If we really going to get down to it, meant absolutely nothing if we really go do that. But that's why I'm just trying to figure out, like, on a week-to-week basis, like, where are we at right now? Because it just seems as if it's like just a final because of what happened today.
I think from what I see and like how I feel when I'm watching is I'm watching a team. I feel like I've watched Chicago get better as the season's progressing. I feel like I'm watching teams now, and I think I said this some point, I don't know where. It's like I'm watching the bad teams be bad, and I'm watching the good teams kind of like turn that corner a little bit and start to be better. And I feel like when I'm watching the Steelers, I'm like, I feel like we're not going anywhere. I feel like we're almost having the very same conversations every week after week after week. And we're trying to find little margins where we're a little bit trying to be a little bit better, but then our competition is getting better, at least from what I'm seeing it. And we are starting to play better teams too. I think that does play a part because the Bears are a better team, right? And then the Bills have a better record, and right, the line, like all the teams we're about to play are getting better statistically. They have better records, and maybe what we're actually seeing is we're now just playing better teams, and while these better teams are getting better, we're still doing some of the same things that we're kind of like, our defense still is doing that? Our offense is still, and it's like we're still kind of having these same things. Whereas some of the teams we're about to play, I've been watching them get better, and I remember what they did in week 1. Even this Bears team, I remember how they looked against the Vikings in week 1, where they just could not figure it out. They couldn't get it together, and then you just kind of watch them continuously get better. And then when you watch them play your team, you're like, no, they are continuing to get better. Like, is that offensive line improved? Not really, but I think Caleb Williams has improved, so he's making the offensive line look better. So that's what I think we're missing for me. When I'm watching the Steelers, I'm like, where are we showing those moments where we're getting better? Where I can point to and I can say, you see, okay, I can see where we're trying to go with this. And right now it just feels like we just are. And I think that's the most frustrating part. And I'll be honest and say, I think the scary part is there's that little word, there's a little thing in the back of my head where I'm like, what if this is it? What if this is our peak? Like, what if we have peaked, right? Because that's the fear. Is it because if you peak, then everybody else is just going to continue to get better and we're not? And so, yeah, there is a little bit of that where I'm like, okay, is this who we are? Is this what we're going to do? Is this the expectation? Why have I watched the Bears, in my opinion, continuously kind of get better? And then I'm looking at the Steelers because that's what we played today. Now, next week might be a different story. That's what worries me, is like our consistent is inconsistent. That's concerning because I don't know what the defense is ever going to give me ever. I don't know if we're getting a pass rush, if we're not getting a pass rush, if we're getting, like, I just don't know what we're doing. I don't know what this offense is doing. And honestly, today, the punter also, I was like, what was he doing? Like, what was he doing?
Man.
Like, even he had moments today where I was like, oh, we can't have him also being inconsistent. So for me, that's where I'm at. It's kind of like, I feel like I'm just looking at things and I'm like, okay, show me some hope. And then I'm like, okay, our punter, 31-yard punt, we need him to punt. Our defense gives it, like, anyway, so that's kind of where I'm at of why I'm looking at this and going, okay.
That's fair. I think for both, like, from my perspective, just listening to both of y'all just got to get to the next week. That's what it sounds like. Because, like, Chris, and the reason I say that is this, for some people, it's going to always have that fear. And even listening to you talk, right, TaNeisha, you said the fear is, man, what if we have peaked? What if this is it? Oh my God, right? It's fear. Mark, you said to yourself, right? Hey man, gotta play them. Hey, some teams are getting better. It's like, I get it. From my perspective, it's gonna always be different because it's like, all right, cool. Y'all say this every week, and then we whoop next week, and then what is it again? All right, we back being world beaters again, right? Everybody loves us again. That's all that is. So I for sure get that. And even my perspective on what we've improved upon, right? Or what we're good at in the consistency parts. It's like, yeah, you mean to tell me Cal Duggar hasn't improved our secondary? We don't like Cal Duggar. Even when we're dropping picks, it's like PBUs. And we're saying, hey, if you're catching that, we saw just a week ago what just catching one does. But that is not improved at all. We're not in any better at all. I don't agree with that.
Well, he's
personally.
dropped more.
No, but you got to be in position. You got to be in position either way. We went from, at one point, and this was with all due respect to Darius Slay, right? People were utterly pissed because Darius Slay wasn't even in position to drop it, let alone get a hand on it. Now we're watching Duggar in position, drop them, and that ain't good. You catch what I'm saying? That's not improvement. To me, that is major improvement. We watched James Pierre go from, you the third, maybe the fourth DB to get out there. Now you're out there consistently making plays every week, getting your hands on the football. Now, I don't know what the heck that whole fake injury trip situation at the end, because it ended up costing a timeout that we also could have used, right? I don't know what that was with Pierre, but to me, I'm watching Pierre and I'm like, he ain't been making plays all season for us. I remember when Pierre went from Pierre Island, get him out there to start, to Pierre's on the bench, don't put him out there ever. And it's like, I'm watching this dude week after week make plays. That's not improvement. I'm watching us create turnovers against a Bears offense that did what this year? That was one of the things they do really well. They don't turn the ball over. We got 2 of them and scored on one of them. So even the thought process of, hey, I think it was the Patriots week, Mark, me and you got into it about turnovers. Is this sustainable? Can we keep getting turnovers? It's like, so far, so good. So far, so good. So consistent also in that faction. Now, could we be better? Absolutely, we could. Absolutely. Because if you are the highest paid defense, and dang the money part, if the expectation is you're a great defense, you can't allow tip passes and overthrown passes to fall harmlessly to the ground. Because just like we saw in the game today, when you miss that opportunity, it allows you to have to defend again and again. And you hear the analogy I use. If you got a bulletproof vest on, you could feel so great, so confident about it. But do you really want to take 10 rounds directly to the chest? Nah. You might take one and it's like, hey, man, the vest did what it's supposed to do. I got out of there. Great. Now, hey, let's find some cover, right? That's the part for us where when I look at this defense, you hear my frustration. It's because, we are leaving opportunities out there to get off the field that changes the trajectory of how we feel about this defense and how this offense would be playing, because now you're winning the field position battle. But when you compound defense not having those opportunities, Corliss Waitman picking the worst day to punt the way that he was punting today, it's like, yeah, man, now we're compounding multiple things. And to take it back full circle, we always say, man, every game, right? You got certain things that you can win with, certain things you can't win with, right? And it's like, all right, well, we know we don't have our starting quarterback. So that's one negative already. Now we dropping picks. All right, that's another negative. Now, man, we got procedural issues, right? Pre-snap alignments. Let's take them. All right, that's another thing. And it's like, oh, hey, Caleb was actually getting the ball out on time today. Dang, that's plus on their side. Oh, Ben Johnson actually made an adjustment at halftime to kind of get the offense back and get us on our heels defensively. Dang, that's another positive, right? So now you see how what may have felt like this is now starting to shift. But from my perspective, I'm seeing all of those little idiosyncrasies in this. And that's why for me, it doesn't feel as grand as how y'all perceive it. But I also am privy to that type of, understanding of it. So that's why I get what y'all saying. That's why I was like, we got to get to the next week. Because the next game, hopefully, throughout these next 6-7 days, they can figure those pieces out of how to catch that ball a little bit more consistent, Kyle Duggar, because it's not your first game dropping a pick. Heck, even the Colts game or the Bengals game where you got the pick six, you dropped one for that. So it's like, we know you dropping picks. Judge machine.
And the week before that, he dropped him.
Right. But to look at dropping picks as a bad, but you guys what I'm saying?
But my point is,
so how many? But Tanisha, how many picks has Darius Slay?
But
how many picks has Darius Slay dropped?
Gesture on my actual point. That's my what you're saying is my actual point. I think that is.
So is that not improvement?
Inconsistent.
So no. Is that not improvement from where we were at week 1, week 2, week 3 when it was Darius Slay and we weren't even catching or even touching the football? Is what I'm asking.
I don't know about this. It's a bad play. The play is dead. It's inconsistent.
So a PBU. So is a PBU a positive play or a negative play as a defender?
You didn't make the play though. They're not making the plays. Like my whole point of saying everything is you either make the play or you don't make a play. There's no gray area with making a play or not. You don't get a half of a point. Like if we were doing a point system. Now, if you said to me, hey, TaNeisha, let's look at this at a point system. Perfect. He gets a 0.5. But if it's you made the play and you didn't make a play, you didn't make the play. And I feel like they've inconsistently been this way since game 1. They're there. They're touching it. They don't make the play. Sometimes they're not there. And then they're not making the play. But the result is still the result. I think that's my argument. Is if the result is just the result is just there's nothing I can do about it.
With the additions that this defense made in the offseason, I go back to Mike Tomlin's quote. If we're going to take him at his word, this is his direct quote. We got to write that story, but we've got enough talent. We've got enough schematics to do big, big things. And when I say big things, I'm talking about historic things. That hasn't happened with this defense.
Oh, 1,000%.
Point blank hasn't happened. So you could talk about NFL's highest paid. You could talk about dogs at every single level from the consistency standpoint. And TaNeisha, that's where I'm with you. Historic defense? Nah, that hasn't happened. Have they shown flashes at times? Sure. We saw it today with Watt strip sack fumble, touchdown Nick Herbig, right place, right time. But where is that consistently? That's what the issue is.
Hey, I agree with you on that, man. You've never heard me go against that, babe. Not at all. I was talking specifically about what I view as improvement. That's it.
So you're saying that when you watch the Steelers team, you see improvement on the defense, which I won't disagree with improvement. And they're also inconsistent. So I think both of those things are true. I think
they might not
have
be mutually exclusive.
correct.
Yeah.
I'm about to say.
I'll agree with you that they have gotten
and
better.
I'm even agreeing with you there. I haven't said they weren't. I haven't said they were consistent all the way. No, I'm with you. We joke every time, right? They are inconsistent, right? We know this, so that hasn't changed either. So I'm listening. I'm with you. Yeah.
Yeah, and so for like, I think too, what kind of starts to happen is like when you're expecting something from a group, right? We're expecting certain things from
absolutely.
Our we just are. So whether that's pressure, making things complicated, seeing guys struggle to get off the field, right? Whatever it is, we're expecting it. If we get a 15-yard penalty on defense, we're all kind of like, yeah, I mean, well, at least we hit them hard, right? We're expecting it. Where is that? Like, we're not even, like, it's like, there's just, I don't know if it just feels off. I don't know what it is, but there's just something about this defense that I feel like they're not doing the thing we're expecting them to do. And because they aren't, I'm starting to wonder if it's just filtering back through the whole team. It just all feels like, I don't know. And obviously everyone is responsible for themselves. I'm not saying it's like the defensive fault or anything like that, but there's a part of this where you kind of just sit and go like, they're just carving us up. We're just, all right. Like, we're just gonna, like, I saw Jalen Ramsey push Caleb Williams out of bounds. And I was like, that's the moment. I don't know. And so it just feels like this defense, I feel like the whole team is consistently inconsistent. I feel like the defense being consistently inconsistent shocks me. And I think that's the moment where I'm just like, wow, I don't even know. I don't, the lack of pass rush probably is my biggest glaring thing though.
I got a question for both of you. Did the Steelers miss Alex Highsmith today? Didn't play.
My perspective, I didn't think so.
What I want to say about Highsmith.
Yeah, my perspective, I didn't. I thought it was more so Caleb Williams on schedule, man. When a quarterback is on schedule, this is how it is at times. And this is why you have to catch the ones that are thrown to you. Because, hey, if a quarterback of Caleb Williams' talent, from my perspective, is playing the way that he was playing today, he's going to be a challenge to deal with. Hence the reason why he was a top pick when he was drafted. That's why Chicago feels excited about him. That's why Ben Johnson, of all the places he could have went to, he said, I want to go there because I know that quarterback, at least talent-wise. So to me, I didn't look at it and feel as if, yeah, man, I'm watching Herbig and he's getting blocked. No, I'm watching Herbig turn the corner. Heck, he almost had a sack. He just missed it. Heck, I'm watching TJ get his sack. And then it's like, yo, I'm looking at Caleb do what? Get it out on time. So to me, I don't trip on that because I understand that, yeah, this is how you attack us. If you don't want to deal with our pass rushers, get the ball on schedule. Make us have to tackle you after the fact because it's a challenge. I mean, DBs historically don't tackle as well as linebackers and D linemen. So offensively, if I'm Ben Johnson, it's like, why wouldn't I attack them like that? Why wouldn't I try to mix up the tempo like that? But once again, we look at that as, hey, only Steelers indictment, only battle Pittsburgh. And it's like, yo, if I'm Ben Johnson and I'm not doing that, what is your problem? Why are you even over there? This is dumb. But it's like we don't look at it both ways from my perspective. I just feel like we only see the Steelers and them short and their shortcomings specifically, and we'll just harp on that versus also giving credit to the opponent. And even when we do give credit, it's like, yo, you get credit, but in your worst TaNeisha, it's only a half a point. It's like, yo, that quarterback is nicer than our quarterback. That quarterback is nicer than our Aaron Rodgers.
Context.
Is he not? I'm just throwing it out. I'm just throwing it out there.
No.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Not the same context. That is absolutely not the same context.
It's like, hey, man, Ben Johnson makes adjustments. It's like, yo, yeah, it's Ben Johnson. Like, yeah, he's making adjustments. He's looking good right now. He's coming on hot. We talking about Terrell Austin. Terrell Austin has never been talked about like Ben Johnson is all I'm saying. So why all of a sudden, if Ben Johnson can make an adjustment or Ben Johnson has that offense cooking and doing certain things right, it's like, yo, TA, defense, what is this? And it's like, yo, I get all of the highest pay. And that's the part too when you talk expectations versus reality. When you throw out expectations, it's the Rex Ryan. Hey, man, we're going to whoop everybody. Okay, cool. And then when you lose one game, it's like, hey, bro. So you could be 10 weeks down the line. You lost twice. Hey, I ain't trying to hear none of that. So I get that. That's why you undersell so you could overproduce. I get all of that. I do.
TaNeisha, what did you think about Highsmith? And I want to hear your perspective on that.
The fact that he's not on the field is just disgusting to me, honestly. The fact that he can't stay healthy is a whole different thing. And yeah, I mean, I think he does change the outlook of the defense because he gives them another option. And I think anytime you can have another option, another guy that can go out there and make plays, I think it makes your team better. I notoriously say, talent, give me all the talent. Talent. I want them everywhere. I don't care if I got 17 of them. Like, give me 17 amazingly talented people and I will figure out a way to play them. And yeah, I think when he's not out there, I think it impacts this defense because it's another playmaker, another guy that you pay to play, and he's not playing. And that how if I don't know how that doesn't impact the team. And I think
it
we're
was
seeing
the
a
highest
lot
paid
of
defense minus Highsmith and minus Slay. All right.
that's what I'm saying. Like we're paying him to play. I think him not being out there, I think is a problem. And I think that the more we see without him, I'm starting to wonder if the defense can work around him not being there as opposed to missing him. Because there are moments. I mean, there are moments where he's a phenomenal football player. He just can't stay healthy. he just isn't available on game days.
Yeah, I played
I see,
11
hold
games.
on real quick, Mark, before you go, because I see how like you had presented the question. I think me and you interpreted it differently. I was kind of interpreted as, do I feel like there was a drop off because he was not out there? I don't feel like there was a drop off because Herbig was out there instead of Highsmith. That's how I interpreted the question. Now, if it's how you were interpreted of, hey man, if he's just available to us as another player, of course, yes.
Gotcha.
The more talented players you have, the better. Yeah, I'm just simply saying I don't think it was a skill for skill drop off issue that Highsmith wasn't out there. That's all I'm saying. So just make sure we're on the same page.
So how did you read the question then, Mark? Did I answer?
Yeah. Which one was it?
Would it have helped the Steelers win today?
Okay.
Like
okay, just in general, would it have helped them win? Okay.
And the reason I say that, I mean, again, I go back to the one sack that they had of Caleb Williams. One thing that he's done with Ben Johnson is a year ago when Eberflus was the coach in Chicago, he's holding the ball way too long. And so that's something that Ben Johnson has had to coach out of him. And now he's tough to bring down. He's prolific when he makes all the Houdini plays, but you can't run an offense where you're running off script on every single play and expect to be successful. And so, Arthur, to your point in terms of playing on time, okay, who is Ben Johnson's quarterback when he's in Detroit? Jared Goff's going to stay on time, on cadence. He's not good at the improvisation stuff and can be a bit robotic, but when, hey, hit this play, make this read, go through this progression, do that quickly, Jared Goff's a very good quarterback to do that. So and it goes back to my point about the coaching. It's about the coaching. And so you're starting to see that with that marriage between Williams and Ben Johnson, and they took advantage with the Steelers today. But I'm like, if Highsmith's out there, I don't know, maybe on a play where he's a little bit more fresh and you can give Herbig a blow or give Watt some more rest on the sideline, maybe they're able to make a play if you have that depth with Highsmith on the field, who, again, I mean, the best ability is availability. And I always hear all the time too, TaNeisha, you can't help the club if you're in the tub, meaning, you have to be able to stay healthy relative to what they're paying Highsmith. And that's, I'm just frustrated because, again, it goes back to the same problems of like, oh, well, the secondary got cooked. Well, why did the secondary get cooked? The pass rush wasn't there. It's the same issues we're talking about week after week after week after week. And it's just like, that's reared its ugly head. I mean, it's just the truth. It's just the truth. I'm rambling, but go ahead. Someone hop in here.
They're doing
no,
great.
I was gonna remove myself and say that was your truth. That's not my truth. You heard my truth. I'm under the impression of what I told you. 2.14 seconds, ball getting out on time, and when he did hold it, I watched Herbig come around the corner, almost get home. I watched TJ actually do get home. I'm telling you that from my perspective. So that's why I'm saying I get what you said, and
Okay,
I'm
so
not
if he's getting the ball out.
I'm not discrediting you. I'm validating you. I'm with you.
If
I'm
he's
just
getting
saying
the ball
from
out
my
quick,
perspective, I see it differently.
if he's getting the ball out quick, then okay, the 200 plus yards didn't quite have what the Steelers pass defense typically gives up, but who's that on in terms of the Bears moving the ball down the field against this defense and putting up 30 plus? Who's that on then?
Listen, I know we want to just hang one person and just say, hey, it's this. But just from my perspective, it's usually a lot of variables. You heard me talk Ben. You heard me talk Kaylee. You heard me talk our pass rush, right? Or you're talking the pass rush, right? I'm talking about drop interceptions, right? That was my big thing, right?
Okay.
So when we talk about all of it as a collective, hey, certain calls, Austin, man, do you want to blitz on this one right here versus sitting in the zone right here? Or do you want to sit in the zone right here versus going man right here? Right? We look at the touchdown pass that Kayla threw. I want to say, who was it to? Was that, oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank. I'm gonna come back to it later though. But yeah, I'm watching. It's like, yeah,
I
man.
never remember.
Should we have Rolodex that call? Do we like sitting in that hard zone area where it's defined LBs, middle field safety in terms of Jalen Ramsey, but he's not able to get over there to that route? But hey, these are all the things that we, obviously go back and forth on after the fact. But that's why I say, yeah, to just sit here and say, hey, we lost, or the 31 points were allowed because it was pass rush, or the 31 points were allowed because it was DBs, or the 31 because it was TOs. It's like, nah, it's a collective. Sometimes it's not just on us, sometimes it's on them making plays. And that was just how I perceived it. We could define how y'all want to find it, but that's just, for me, that's how I see it. So y'all can talk about how y'all see it, though.
Can
No,
we?
go ahead.
I was gonna say the 4th and 1 play in the first half to say, okay, we don't want Boswell out there. Instead of going up 10, let's go for it on 4th and 1.
The miscommunication, like QB sneak situation, yeah.
I have a few different thoughts about this. And with respect to Connor Hayward, because I understand you don't want your quarterback injured. You want your backup quarterback injured because then Will Howard has to come in. Part of the reason I think the Steelers need a young quarterback is they need a quarterback who's capable of doing a tush push to where you can get all 11 contributing towards the pile up front. And it's like in Arthur, you could say, we'll take the points there. We've debated that on game situation.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Tomlin is quoted multiple times.
No, hold on. Before we go, is that how did you feel about that one? I'm just asking, curious. Yeah.
Here's how I feel, Arthur.
The 2 4th downs, how'd you feel? Yeah.
Find a way to convert. And it's like, and you're saying, well, playing the results game. Find a way to convert. Mike Tomlin is quoted multiple times. He said it today after the game. He said, I can pull up the dates. I got him in my notes for you. Where if you can't get a yard, you don't deserve to win the game. But I look at the tush push where it's like, I don't know if Hayward's going to get it or if he gets it just barely. If you could run a tush push with the quarterback where it's like, it's hilarious just to see Rudolph today. You've seen Rodgers just as like a statue back there.
Yeah. So
I look at what the Eagles do with like Hurts. It's like, and other teams, when they do the quarterback sneak, your quarterback's got to be able to do that. And again, I understand today's circumstance might be a little bit different because you're playing with your backup. But even when Rodgers is there, and I understand you don't want to get him hurt either. Yeah. But whoever the quarterback is next, that is something that whoever the quarterback of the future is going to need to be able to do. That's
I'm with you on that. You threw me off though when you started off by talking about the decision. I thought your grievance was that he went for it. That's why I'm over here confused. I'm like, no, because we got an argument before about the decision to go for it versus taking the field goal. I was like, yo, yeah, I don't have an issue about that part specifically. It's like, yeah, get a younger quarterback, cool. If you want to go with Connor Hayward, cool. We did a regular QB sneak with Mason, cool. Heck, we even did the change up, right? Fake the QB sneak, give it the game explosive play. Shout out to Arthur Smith, right? So to me, I'm like, yo, I don't have an issue with that. I was more so just happy that we actually were decisive and decided to go for it. I like the first two going for it on 4th downs. I personally was not a fan of punting it with 2 minutes left in the game, but was glad that, hey, you stuck true to what you say. Highest paid defense. You believe this defense. We've talked about how many times he's put the defense out there. It's like, yo, if that's who you are, believe in it. I just didn't like it because the field position and the 2-minute element of it, and us only having, I think, one time out of the time, I wasn't feeling that part. But, hey, that's why he gets paid what he gets paid, because he got to make the decisions.
You got it back again.
Go ahead. That's what I'm saying. It worked out. I personally wouldn't have made the decision, but I'm glad it worked out. Absolutely.
Yeah. I actually liked all of the decisions, and let's be real here. He got the first down on the 4th and 1. They just said he didn't. So I'm just saying.
So once again, it's like I'm not tripping. It's like,
I like the decision to go for that, and then I like the decision after that whenever we had it again to call a different play out of it. That was kind of diabolical. I live for that. Like, give me that. I love that. That is what I want to see. That change up, the different, yes, that is called innovation. That is called, we have showed this so many times, we're going to do something else. Yes, please. And week, whatever this is, 11, 12, thank you. I love that.
But now, TaNeisha, isn't that against what you say, though? Because we've seen the tush push work exclusively just by running the tush push. So why should we change it up?
Because it didn't work earlier in the game.
Right.
It technically did, though. We saw him get the yardage. They just spotted it wrong. We saw him get the yardage.
I said technically because of the refs. But I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
the way the game
Because
is
the ref-
structured.
Did he not get it? He got the first down.
Oh,
That's
if we're
all I'm
going to play
saying.
the ref game, then we can
No,
let's
no,
get
no,
to
no.
talking
It's not,
because
no,
it
it's
should have
not a
never
ref
been a
game.
fourth
No, no,
and one if
no,
we're going to
no,
play the ref game.
Tanisha, what I'm saying is this: if you're just pausing it, right? Regardless of what the outcome was, we're just simply saying pause it when he is down. Did he or did he not gain the yard? That's all I'm saying. I'm
If
watching
you're saying-
the line. That's all I'm saying. I know they ruled it. Yeah, and shout out to them ruling with the rule. It's like, yo, we ain't tripping on that. But to act as if he ain't get yards, it's like, yo, I'm watching him get yards. Like, that's all up. Like, that's it. That's all I had. That's all I had on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even. I will never argue for the refs on any capacity.
Yeah, I don't care about the refs
So
like that.
whatever
Yeah.
you have to say about them, you
Definitely
got
tripping
it.
on
Like,
refs.
I'm not
Yeah.
even getting. They're not. I don't even
Refs
want to
are
waste my
refs.
energy on them.
They're just out
Yeah,
there.
they are what they are. Whatever. They are like spiders to me. I don't talk about spiders. I don't talk about refs. Like that, y'all gonna have it. I don't even care. I don't care. I see them both the same.
Yes.
So that is just how I feel about it. I actually loved the clock management of punting the ball, knowing that as soon as you punt it, the 2-minute timeout is coming in, and then knowing that you have those 3 timeouts. I thought it was brilliant. What I think is actually interesting, and I'm going to say this, I know this is a Steelers show, but I'm just going to say this because I think it bears talking about. Last week, the Bears had a similar situation against the Vikings, and Ben Johnson did not trust Caleb Williams, and he ran the ball 3 straight times and whatever. This game against us, he runs it twice, and then he tries to trust Caleb Williams on the 3rd down, and it didn't work. My point is I think sometimes whenever, because we only watch our own team, we think it's only us that like do things like that from one game to another because we don't have the context of the other players. I'm just here to tell you that the reason why Ben Johnson did that is because last week he didn't trust his quarterback and it was a whole big thing. So this year that game he was trying to trust them. I'm saying that because I think sometimes we do that as well. For Mike Tomlin kind of tries to trust the team a little bit and tries to give them a little bit. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And I just don't think coaches get enough credit for that because we only see it happening on our team and we only care about if it doesn't work or works. But I respect that Ben Johnson, and I'm sure Caleb Williams does too on some point, that he decided to try something different this game because we've talked about this so many times with the Steelers, right? We'll do something in one game and then we come back in the next game and we're like, why did he do that? And I'm like, that's part of the game. Like that's part of coaches and players like working through different situations. It just didn't work out. And then what was that a flop? Was he flopping for an injury to make us burn a timeout? It was like
he got
perfectly
tripped
for us.
Yeah, it was like I don't know. It was weird. The whole situation was weird. The ref definitely said he flopped. I saw the ref say he flopped, but then I didn't see the actual go back to that. Yeah. What'd you see, Mark?
Okay, I was just wondering if anybody knows what happened. Yeah. So did he
No,
Arthur, he never went down though,
Arthur,
right?
I think you have the right read on that. That's how I interpret it as well.
Yeah, it was like a weird trip, fake injury, and dude's like, he flopped, and that's what they banged the time, make him take the time off. I was like, yo, this is weird, but yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
I just want to know that, and then the other thing in the game, when DK went down with that ankle, ankle injury, in that moment I was like, oh no, what are we going to do?
No! That's why Roman Wilson. Come on, Roman Wilson. Come on, company. Time to step up. The next man up.
That was an interesting moment. Yeah, I mean, he came back in and all of that, but I remember that was one of those moments in the game where I was like, okay, okay, all right, what are we gonna do here? So anyways, just calling that out because that was something I was thinking about when I was watching. Is like, come on, who's gonna somebody throw it to somebody, please. So I don't know. When is the guy coming off the practice squad? Don't we have another receiver that's like on the practice squad or something?
Yeah,
MVS
Valdez Scantling. Yeah, so him and Asante Samuel Jr. Everything is still just they practice to get ready to go.
Okay, they're just practicing.
That's the thing. Yeah, it's just like and as much as I would love for it to just be as simple as, hey, you sign a guy, he plays next week. I don't know where their physical condition was when they signed.
Yeah, right.
It's like you throw a dude out there, he ain't physically ready to go. He's gonna be just off that field just as quickly. He's gonna be pulling something. Something will get hurt. That's just the reality of it. Yeah. So I'm I don't know what all that is just yet, but it at least sounded like they were in consideration. Because I know with Asante Samuel Jr., his name was floating around, so it was like, okay, at least the conversations are starting to happen more. We'll see what this weekend looks like. But my whole thing is just don't put them out there until they're ready to go. Because the problem is this. Yeah. We have these high expectations, right? And we're looking for the savior, right? Because, hey, we have all these grand issues. So we're going to throw these guys out there and the expectation is perfection. And if it's Kyle Duggar, where you catch some picks, but you drop some picks, we're going to have a very different perspective on him, right? So when I look at Asante Samuel, it's like, yo, let's just make sure you're all the way healthy. So that way, nobody has, weird opinions on you because of you not playing to the best of your ability. Because I think he's a talented player. But at the same time, is he perfect? No. And he's coming off of a major injury situation. Absolutely. Spinal fusion.
Injury.
So it's like, these are certain things to me that I look at and I'm like, all right, I like this, but that was the reason why he was available. Same with MVS. It's like, yo, you're a big receiver that can go down the grass that has a familiarity with Aaron Rodgers. But if you were perfect, why were you available? That's just how I view it. So that's why you've heard me and TaNeisha, you know how we talk. It's like, yo, I don't look for outside help. It's like, yo, we got the answers already here. So it's like, if those guys can come in here and be additions, it hop on, it do what we've seen them do in the past at other places, great. But if it doesn't happen, that still doesn't change the fact that we have to win next weekend. That does not change the fact that we have to win the weekend after that. It doesn't change that we got to keep winning even into the postseason. So that way, everybody doesn't hit us with we ain't won a Super Bowl in forever. We ain't won a playoff game in forever. So it's like, I get it. But that's the thing. So I don't put a ton of, oh, come on, guys. I know you're going to, because it's just like, yo, if y'all do, great. But if not, bro, it don't matter. The same way no Aaron Rodgers out there today, are any of us giving the Steelers a pass? Did anybody say, hey, man, y'all ain't Aaron Rodgers out there, bro. Y'all get a pass today, bro. It's all right. Nah, we over here ultra critical, right? Next man up, because at this level, that's all that matters. We don't care about all the variables. It's like, yo, did you win or did you not win? And that's why you even hear me and Mark at times, right, where it's the whole time position, all the other stats. It's like, yo, I don't care about that. If we won, we won. But it's like, this is the flip side. When you lose, you got to hear it. So it's like, yo, I get all of that, man. Absolutely. But
what was our time of possession today? I think we won it by a lot.
Mark said we won it, yeah.
I think it was by a lot, wasn't it, Mark? Do you have?
Yeah, I got it right here. It's
because I think the problem, because Mason Rudolph had those 2 drives that I felt like went on forever.
It was like a 17-play drive.
33 minutes crazy. And 9 seconds for the Steelers. Third time Pittsburgh.
That's got to be the highest,
won.
Right?
Yes.
That's the highest we've had all season?
For this season, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Say 33, that was a minute. Yeah.
All right, it's got to be.
Yeah. It's like gotta be the highest we've had the ball.
They even said it on the broadcast today. Ian Eagle was like I think they talked about the total number of plays, where it was like the offense had the fewest number of total plays and the defense had the most.
Oh, interesting.
That's not a recipe for success.
Yeah.
It's not a recipe for success.
No,
it's not.
Yeah. I didn't hear that. I must have blanked out in that moment. Because I was fixated on
right? You heard Ian Eagle say that.
I was fixated on the first quarter, 60 consecutive quarters with only 7 points scored or something like that. I think that was the statistic, and I was like, what did he just say? And it was like,
the first quarter scoring for the Steelers. Yeah, that's nothing. Oh man,
I like the point differential. Did you see that one where it was like Chicago was plus 23 in the first quarter, and then they were negative in every quarter after that? I was like, dang, that's interesting. Like to just see how that plays out.
Except for when you play the Steelers.
I mean, so it is what it is. It's like, it was just cool to see it, Yeah.
No, but so it was that for the Bears, and then it was remember the Bengals couldn't have a rusher or whatever. Nobody could run the ball. The Bengals. The Bengals, remember, like they didn't have a rusher, and then here comes the Steelers.
Absolutely.
And then somebody else had something else, and I'm like, well, that record's being broken today, folks. I think it was the Chargers had something. I don't remember what it was.
No, it's real. That's real.
Yeah. Anyways, you know what I will say though? Gosh, what happened on the punt there? I'm like, was it like 31 yards? I don't know. That was weird. But you know, when it rains, it pours, right? When you just need one position group to do their job, when you just need the offense to when you just need and then everybody's like, no, me either. It's like, great. Amazing how this works out. What is that, Murphy's Law? Everything that must go wrong will go wrong.
And look, I was agreeing with you. I was just, I always find the bliss in the fact that it's like, in all of that, it was still a 3-point game with our backup quarterback and Jaquan Brisker.
And had 2 chances.
Going 40 yards up in the air to go tap a ball. I'm like, if all that has to take place, I'm like, yo, I'll live with it. Let's go to next week. But that's just me. That's how I feel about it. That's what I know y'all ain't gonna feel like that, but that's just how I feel about it. Yeah. It's like,
you have to feel that way about it. There's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
go.
I mean, what can we do about it? Now, trust me, if I could go back and rewind everything, we do that. I would have you go suit up, Moats. You might make a play for us, and if you don't make a play, you're coming back to hear what we have to say about it.
Look, I don't want to do the recap. I like to do the what would you do going forward, because I love to just hear the plans and be like, yo, he sucked. That's he sucked. I'm like, yo, so what would y'all do? Let me hear. Not 6 months from now, next week. That's what I'm looking for. Like, all right, cool. What's the answer? Yeah, because I got my answers.
Quarterback.
Yeah, okay.
I think Aaron Rodgers at quarterback changes things a little bit, because I think he will. He changes the play, and he runs the offense a little bit differently. And so I think that is what you do get from playing Buffalo. I mean, I watched Buffalo play on Thursday night, whatever. I also have been watching Buffalo play all week or all year. And the things that I've seen Buffalo doing, the Steelers have to figure some things out. But guess what? Buffalo has to figure out some things as well, because they've got I think they've only won like one road game this year. They got some things to figure out too. So it's like we're both figuring things out. and hopefully we get Rodgers back and we look different. But I don't know why I'm saying that out loud, because so far I feel like I'm complaining about the same thing every week. So maybe we'll just be.
That's I'm here like, yeah, like what would y'all go with? Yeah, because I see the things that I see, and I recommend the things I recommend, and I know for me, I'm like, yeah, when I say, I'm like, I legit feel good about that. Like if we do this, I think that's gonna work. I think if we catch that works. I don't really hear any of that from y'all two though. It's always like I just see it as bad. So I was like, all right, I'm with that, and we all in agreement. That was
Aaron Rodgers.
No. That was on offense. I was on my defense next. You know what I mean? Like,
defense.
Yeah, you catch me
you guys are more on the defense than I am. My biggest thing with the defense is I think they need to get a better pass rush. Even as bad as they played, giving up 31 points, dropping interceptions, and looking like they did, that offense still had 2 chances to come back and win the game. So do I want the defense to be perfect? Yeah. They're not going to be perfect, though. They're going to have games like that, which is why you play complementary football and you hope the offense can pick you up. So I'm not really on. You guys started with the defense. I'm not. I don't feel that way about them. I mean, I do want them to get a more consistent pass rush, and I do want Highsmith to play. But overall, when I look at this game, could they have been better? Yeah, but I don't. This game to me isn't solely on the defense. I think they get a slice of the pie, but when they needed to step up, they did.
I was gonna say though, how would you rate it though, right? Offensively, if this is 100% blame, right? How much blame do you put on offense? How much blame do you put on defense? And how much blame do you put on special teams? And if you want to throw in, I would say throw in coaching as well. If make it full, right? Got 4 slices to this pizza. All right, offense, defense, special teams, and coaches. How would you slice up this pie? And Mark, you get ready too, man. You get that next.
All right. Today, are we talking today or the whole season?
Yeah, just today. We're talking about today. We're talking about today. Yeah. Because today was unique, right? We didn't have our starting quarterback. Yeah. We talked about some of the injuries on defense, but just specifically today, because we lost today. Last week, everybody was all good.
Percentages on them, but I'll rank them. The defense is definitely number one to blame today. Just is.
Why? And just give it a quick little I think this because of, and then just go to the next one and the next one. Yep.
30, giving up 30 plus when you have a backup quarterback. So that's one. I mean, did Ben Johnson out coach Tomlin today? I mean, I need to know. I need to watch more film versus just hey, hour after the game to say that. I mean, the one touchdown they had in the second half, the receiver was wide open. I'd want to watch some more film with that. Again, Ben Johnson's the reason he's the most sought after coach. So the second slot, somewhere coaching, offense. I mean, special teams today, I don't think was as big of an issue, unless I'm missing something. I mean, I know Corliss Waitman, your ability to flip the field was bad today.
Yeah, that's my dog too. It hurts me. Oh, Corliss, hey, it's love, baby, it's love. But that was one of the ones that was a little tough for today. That was tough. But
so I would go offense number 1, 2A, 2B, coaching, offense, and then special teams I'd put at 4. That's how I'd rank it. And if I had to pick one, I'd probably say coaching. But again, we're recording this hour after the game. Yeah, you have to watch more film.
That's fair.
It's not fair for me to be I don't know what the assignments were. So
let's remove it. All right, so we'll remove the coach. My bad. I'll remove that out then. My bad. We'll remove the coach out. So for you said
offense, defense, special teams.
All right. Yeah. Hold on. You said I think you said defense first.
He said defense.
Sorry.
Yeah, okay. Defense.
Defense, offense, special teams.
Special team. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What you got, TaNeisha?
I'm going offense first and probably second.
Okay.
I don't think it's good enough to score 21 points. For me, this is why I'm going offense. The offense had interception 2 plays, touchdown 13 plays, defensive touchdown, turnover on down 5 plays, touchdown 7 plays. Then after half, our offense was punt 6 plays, punt 3 plays, fumble 3 plays, touchdown, punt 6 plays, downs 7 plays. That's unacceptable for an NFL offense. Sorry, you're getting the blame. So they're my first because I think this is what I've been seeing, and I just don't think it looked. I don't think the defense helped the offense at all. I think I don't think that you can keep going 3 and out and then throwing your defense back out on the field and expect your defense not to get scored on. I just don't think that that's fair, especially on the road. So I'm going definitely offense first. And then my second thing, I'll give it to the defense, but I think coaching is pretty close to me. This is the first game in a long time where I've looked at the coaching and I've gone, what was that? Okay, what was that decision? What was going on? Did we make changes? What did you guys talk about at halftime? Whatever the speech was, throw it away. We're never going to say that again. Let's never say that again. And then I think the punting, that was huge this game. I think that was something that I don't think I had that on my radar at all to really think about until I saw it. And then I was like, oh, that wasn't great. I mean, a 31-yard punt I don't even know what to do with that. and so I'm taking that there. But even saying all of this, we lost the game by 3 points. If our offense does anything on any of those possessions, the game is different. And so for me, it's like you scored 7 points in one half of football. I think that that's unacceptable. I just think that that's unacceptable.
I could dig it. Shoot, for me, I would probably go defense first just because of expectations. They're my healthier group. I have more of my money players even available today, right? I know Darius Slay wasn't out there. We talked about Highsmith not being out there. Slay was out there. He didn't start. Excuse me. But to me, it's like, I still have a lot of the original, like, higher end marquee pieces over there that I just have higher expectations for, regardless of what my offense is doing. My expectation is nothing more than 20 points. Heck, realistically, nothing more than 17 points if we're really like being particular about it, right? So that's always going to be an issue when I see our defense with the players that we have, as talented as we are, give up 30 plus points. It's embarrassing as a defender. You never want to give up 30 at the NFL level. That's just the reality of it. So that's why I put them at number 1. From there, man, as much as I would like to take the easy layup and go with special teams, I'm like, I do agree a little bit with what you're saying, TaNeisha, in terms of the second half, how stagnant it was. But even with that, offensively, I'm still looking and I'm like, you are literally a wide receiver aligning on the line of scrimmage where Mason scrambles and picks up the first down. And once again, the field is very different because time-wise and location of the field in terms of where we would have the ball at after he had that 20-something yard run, all of that changes. So I'm back and forth, but it's like, you still did not execute that. And that has zero to do with Mason. That was on a wide receiver. So that's why I have to put offense at number 2. And then from there, man, number 3 is Corliss Waitman or special teams. And the reason why I say Corliss in terms of his name and him is because of the punt. We know, man, 31-yard punt, it kills you at that time. Even the end punt is like, they're getting the ball. It's like they're at the 50. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you defensively, you don't care where you get on the field at. You've heard me tell you that, right? It's like, we don't care. We just line up and go. I don't care if it's 99 yards or 1 yard. Cool. We out here. Let's do it. So they went out and executed. That's the part that it's like, man, shout out to the defense, doing your job. But to me, I just hold them to a very high standard because of what I know they're capable of, not because of my personal films, but because of what I've seen. Not just this game, plenty of games. Pass rush, picks, run defense across the board. But it's not all playing together at the same time. And that's part of why we feel the way that we feel. We'll just tag it as consistency, right? But that's how I put it in that order, man. I'm going to go defense, offense, and then special teams for me.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: is I don't think any of us are really wrong, just in terms of how this game shook out.
No.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what happens too when you lose, right? You can always go, especially when it's close. I feel like it's harder to judge a team when it's a close loss because if it's a blowout, you're like, oh, everybody everybody's responsible for that. But when it's close, you're like, man, but a caught interception here could have changed the thing. But a that illegal formation change could have changed some things.
Yeah. Executing down the stretch and late in the game. I mean, if they even get into field goal range to force overtime and the offense puts up, there's 30 points on the scoreboard. I understand the Watt strip sack fumble was part of it. But it's like we're having a different conversation. And it's marginal. And that's really the big difference between NFL and college is just like the things that we're talking about, they're marginal.
Yeah. But think about this. Both of y'all have just dang near verbatim said the thing that I be trying to explain. But it's like we don't care about those margins. It's still grand. Like we talk about these grand. It's like, no, these are little things that are just happening. But that is literally the difference in us getting out of today's game. Throughout the season, we could point to just like, we talked about the Seattle game and it was like, yo, was there a ton to talk about? No, we're like, yo, realistically, if you pick that ball up, it's different. If you make this tackle by simply going over top of that block versus behind the block, it's a difference.
Yeah.
But that's what
Except
this is.
for the Chargers game. Was that the only game that I feel like, was it the Chargers game that I was just kind of like, that one just,
I would just say
Seattle.
People feel like, they do that whenever we lose. That happens.
Okay.
It's a thing.
I feel like I said, I feel like there was only one game this year where I was kind of looking and I was like, oh gosh, this is brutal. Yeah, it was the Chargers, I think. That was when Aaron Rodgers got that sack or the safety.
Yeah,
it's the Chargers game and then Seattle as well. Seattle
those
game
are the
was
big
not
two.
Close.
Those are the big two.
Those are the two.
Yeah.
Because even with Green Bay, we said Green Bay, we had the lead through 3 quarters. Going into the 4th quarter, we were winning. And then it got weird. It's like, yo.
Arthur, I know people back home, though. I know people back home in Chicago, or if Rodgers had played this, even if he were a little bit compromised, I mean, that's like Freddy Krueger to the Chicago Bears and Bears fans.
Trust me, I get it, man. I definitely get all that. I definitely do. And
when did they say he wasn't going to play?
This morning?
Whenever they released it inactive?
This morning, but I read the report that Tomlin made the decision on Saturday, is the reports that I read, TaNeisha.
Oh, okay. I didn't. Yeah.
Which honestly,
I was too busy watching college football yesterday, and then when I woke up today, I was like, "Okay, what are the brackets looking like for Texas? Like, how far off are we? I'm doing that whole thing." And before I realized it, it was like 11:45 because games here start at 12, and I was like, "Oh crap! I don't even know who's playing." And so, and then anyways, by that time, it was already go time, and I was like, "Oh, when was this decided? I never saw anything."
TaNeisha, pull some strings so Arch Manning can drop to like the 5th round in the 2027 draft to get into Pittsburgh. I'm a men's medium. I'll take a jersey too, please.
All right, and TaNeisha, you heard what he said. In 2027, he didn't say this. He said 2027.
Smart man.
I peep you, Mark.
You've heard. Yeah, you've been hearing my battle cry. I've been saying this. Moats knows this. Like I've been saying this all. I'm like, in 2 years he's gonna be phenomenal. And everyone's like, 2 years, like 2 years. I'm like, I'm telling you, he's got to give him some time. He's gonna heat up. He's gonna be fine. And hey, he's got another great game on coming up this Friday. So yeah, what a great, how fun is it just to watch these guys develop? And then it's like, they're not my kids, but they're like my babies because they play for my teams, and I send them off and I go watch them in the NFL. Like how I watch Bijan and all these guys. Like it's just nice seeing them go on and still be amazing. So Arch Manning to the Steelers. If the Mannings want him in Pittsburgh, he will be in Pittsburgh. Let me just say that. So
there it is. No, I like that right there. I like that. I like that. So shoot, wrapping up though in terms of today, right? Final takeaways.
I have one.
From there. Yeah. Let's go.
Fire everyone. We suck. No.
There it is. You know that's the mantra. Who we fire, man? I was just like, who we fire?
On today's episode, we are firing the special teams coach because I don't think anybody ever says his name ever. So
shout out to my dog, Daddy, man.
I'm just kidding.
My God.
I'm totally kidding. I think for my closing, I'll say I do think that we are consistently inconsistent, but I need us to find a way to be a little bit more consistent. I get it. It's football. Everything's not always going to be perfect. It's not always going to be. I got that. But at some point, defenders have to catch the football. Like that's the one thing where I'm saying, like, we have to start catching the ball. Like, I don't even know what else to say. And so for me, it's like being able to catch the ball, pass rush, doing something would be phenomenal. I don't even know what to say about this offense. Okay. I'm not even qualified. I don't even know what to say. They piss me off so much at this point. I'm just going to leave them where they're at. You guys got this. Those are my things. Catch the ball, pass rush. Please show up at some point. Please, consistently.
All right, Mark, what you got? Final words, man. What you get it off your chest, player. Get it off.
I'll say it with my chest, Arthur. You ready? Aaron Rodgers, before all of his ayahuasca retreats, was known and feared in the city of Chicago with his discount double checks and Telling Soldier Field. The fans, I own you. We were robbed of that today. We can slice this any way we want to about what happened on the field today. We were robbed of that today, and I'm not willing to wish my life away. But let's get to Buffalo next week because this conversation, it's just been rough. It's been absolutely rough. And that's no knock on either of you. It's just the outcome of today's game.
You don't want to talk to us after
offended.
A loss, Mark? That's crazy.
So offended,
Mark, you were so excited last week. Mark, you were smiling. You was having a great time. Now we lose. Now all of a sudden I just don't want to talk to nobody. That's crazy, Mark. That is crazy, man.
I am so offended. I'll remember this, Mark. I will remember this.
Well, shoot, man. I guess my final takeaway is I piggyback the catching the football element of it, right? It's one thing to, improve. Cool. But we never want to become complacent. We never want to become stagnant. And you always have to be arrow pointed up. So continue to do good in terms of Kyle Duggar and his defense, in terms of being in position. Because you can't even catch a pick unless you were in position, right? So first off, keep doing that. You got 8 of the boxes checked off. Heck, 9 of the boxes checked off. When you talk about catching the pick, you know how hard it is to get your foot on, get your hand on one football. It's like, you've checked off 9 boxes. Mark, you can even tell you that, right? So, last box you got to do is catch it. And then on offense, if Mason is still out there, then I'm more so just looking at my wide receivers and saying, make sure y'all doing everything right. Because when you have somebody that isn't your marquee player, who are my force multipliers? Well, hey, if my original force multiplier, which is Aaron Rodgers, is not out there, well, that doesn't mean you're void of force multipliers. No, you got to go down the totem pole. Who's the next highest paid? DK. All right, cool. Hey, how we feel about these draft picks in the offensive line? I bet. Step it up. Hey, who we pay money to? Jalen Warren. All right, cool, man. We need some more rushing attack. Hey, Ron Wilson, what draft pick are you? Was you undrafted? Was you 7th round? Oh, you look. Nah, all right, bet. Let's go. That's just how I look at it. So that's my final say on that thing. If it's going to be Mason, I need my others that are still on that offense that we've invested in to step up. The same way we look on defense and I say, hey, TJ, Herbert, Kale, Highsmith, if y'all out there, save me because my secondary, we're a little banged up, right? I need you to be better. It all works hand in hand. So those are my thoughts on it. Hopefully, though, viewers, y'all enjoyed it, even on an L. I know.
Yeah.
But if you did, make sure you hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Even drop it in the comment section. How you feel? All right? Was you rolling with the TaNeisha angle? Was it the Mark angle? I know it won't me. All right? I know I'd be too happy with me. I already know. Already know. All right? Already know.
Listen, if this is a battle, say less. I am in the chat. Okay? Like, listen, you say less to me. Okay? It is a battle in the chat. I got this. You know what? Now I'm fired up.
It's 3 different perspectives up here. I'm just saying, Mark was heavily upset about defense. TaNeisha heavily on offense. Y'all know I'm kind of in between. But y'all let me know. All right? Y'all let us know in the comment section. But either way, we appreciate each and every one of y'all for tuning in. Y'all stay safe out there. And until next time, baby. Peace.
Bye.